Hello, good evening. Labiba, please confirm if I'm audible to you or not. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Labiba, we'll wait for 2-3 minutes more so that other student could also join, and then we will start the session. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right, Labiba. I think no one else is going to join us today. So let's continue the session. In the
Okay, sir.
in the previous class, we were discussing about the different types of petty cash book, right? Wherein I've explained that. Just a minute. In the last class, we learned about the petty cash book. So, while discussing the meaning of the petty cash book, we understood that petty cash book is a book it is a part of cash book. It is a kind of cash book, in fact, wherein we record transaction involving a small amount of cash inflow and outflow. All right. So, just a minute. Type of cash book wherein transactions involving small amount of cash inflow and outflow are recorded, right? And I've also told you that there are two system of maintaining the petty cash book. Do you able to recall that? What are the system we have covered? What are the different types of system of maintaining the petty cash book? Do you able to recall that, Labiba?
Yes,
All right. Anyway,
sir.
so we have one yeah, simple or ordinary system, right? And then we have one more system which is called impressed system.
Sir, I forgot this word. This one was confusing.
This one was confusing. Okay, let me
Yeah.
explain this again. Under the simple or ordinary system, what happens that we the head cashier gives certain amount of money to the petty cashier, and petty cashier uses this fund to manage all small transactions, and at the end of the month or week he'll return the remaining amount to the head cashier, and then for the next month again petty cashier will sorry head cashier will allocate certain amount of fund to the petty cashier. So every time for each and every month, head cashier will be allocating different amount to the petty cashier depending upon the expenditure, depending upon the small transaction that is going to take place in the next month. But in case of the impress system, what happens under this system, amount a certain amount is fixed, certain amount is fixed by the head cashier that need to be given to the petty cashier for meeting all small transactions, and this fixed amount will be utilized by the petty cashier for meeting out all small transactions, so small inflow and outflow of the small transactions of the business. And at the end of the month, whatever the remaining amount is still left, it is not required to be paid back to the head cashier. In fact, only the difference, only the what how should I what should I say that in fact, whatever the what do we call it, whatever the deficit is there, right, whatever the deficit is there, then such amount will only be asked to pay to pay by the head cashier. So let's suppose if the fixed amount is fixed at 10,000, and if the petty cashier has spent 4,000 out of it, all right, so then that means, and after the end of this month, 6,000 will still remain in the hands of the petty cashier. Then the petty cashier can ask for 4,000 of rupee from the head cashier, totaling 10,000. So the thing is that under impress system we have to maintain a fixed amount of balance for each and every month. All right, after this we have understood the different types of petty cash book. Do you able to recall this? What are the different types of petty cash book? Tell me, Labiba.
So the analytic one,
Yeah, the analytical petty cash book. Yeah.
and then
Mm-hmm.
compound cash. No.
Not combined. Simple petty cash book.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, we did this in the previous class itself. Huh? Simple petty cash
Yeah.
book. We did questions based on the simple petty cash book in the last class. All right. I hope simple petty cash book is clear to you. We
Yeah.
have already did few questions based on the simple petty cash book, and let's continue from this point onwards. We did this question based on the simple petty cash book. This is the solution of that question. Then we did this question as well in the last session itself. And apart from this, I think I've given you this question for the homework as well. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone did this?
Yeah.
Pratika, Zainab, have you tried, both of you? Pratika and Zainab, have you tried this question? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what about you, Zainab? Have you tried this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So since we are already covered the ordinary, sorry, simple petty cash book, now we can start with the analytical petty cash book. All right. And for that, we will start with this question: analytical cash book. All right, everyone. But for in order to solve this question, we will have to first of all understand the format of the analytical petty cash. We will have to first of all prepare the format of the analytical petty cash book. All right. So and the format of this particular cash book is little different. Analytical petty cash book. Just a minute. All right. So I want all of you to prepare this format, and only then we will start with the question. Petty cash book. Receipts. Then we will make a column for recording the date of transaction. After that, column for particulars. Then the total payment being made. Total payment. After that, whatever the expenses you have incurred for, you will have to make a separate column for each and every type of expense that you have incurred. Apart from receipt, date, particular, total payment, we have to indicate the expenses being made for different type of expenses that has been incurred for whatever the for whichever particular thing we have spent the money. We will have to indicate that as well. Like for example, if we have made the payment for the For rent, then we will indicate it as rent. If we have made a payment for wages, then we will have to indicate a separate column for wages. If we have paid uh, any, what should I say, any traveling expense or conveyance charge, then such need to be recorded here. And other expenses need to be recorded like this. Etc. All right. Then after recording all the transactions, what we will do, we will total these columns. We will find out the total of the total payment that have been made. Then we will total these amounts as well: rent, wages, or whatever the expenses that we have incurred, whatever the things for which the payment has been made, we will total the amount for such expenses as well. This is it. This is how we, and also we will total the column of the receipts. All right, so this is the format of the petty cash book. Any amount received from the head cashier will be recorded on the receipt side. Like for example, if head cashier have given us 20,000 on a particular date, let's suppose on 1st of April, he had given 20,000, then such amount will be recorded here, and obviously it will be recorded like this to cash account. No amount will be written here. But for example, if we have paid for the rent, then it will be recorded like for example on 8th of April we have made the payment for the rent, so then such payment will be recorded like this by rent. And let's suppose payment was made for rupees 1500. Apart from rent being recorded here in the column total payment column, this need to be recorded here. This need to be indicated here as well in the rent column. On, let's suppose on 11th of April we have paid for the traveling. We will write down by conveyance or by traveling expenses. Amount will be written here in this column. Let's suppose we have paid for the traveling amounting to 2000. This will be indicated here. So this is how we will be recording the transaction. Apart from recording here, we will also indicate that in this column. All right. So this is the basic format. I'm sure you understood this. See, all the thing that you need to understand here is that apart from the column of the receipt, date, particular, and total payment, we need to make a separate column for each and every type of expenses that we have incurred. If we have paid a rent or wages or traveling expense or any other expense, we need to make a separate column for that as well. I hope this is clear, everybody. Yes or no? All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's just start with the question. It will give you a better idea how we actually prepare petty cash book. So let me just erase all this. All right. Now see, like as you can see in this question, it says that prepare an analytical petty cash book on the impressed system. It says that on January 1st, receive 10,000 petty cash book. All right. So what are we going to do? We'll go to the petty cash book and write down on 1st of Jan 1st of January 2017. 1st January, we have received cash to cash account. And pay attention, try to understand. I'm not going to record 10,000 here in this column. Rather, I'll be recording 10,000 in the column of the receipts. Got it, everybody? I hope this point is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have on January 2nd, we paid bus fare. We have paid bus fare. Now see how this will be recorded. I'm considering bus fare as a conveyance expense. All right. So instead of writing it as bus fare, I'll be writing down on 2nd January, we have incurred a bus fare that is by conveyance. Conveyance account. How much we have paid for the conveyance? How much we have paid for the bus charges? Bus fare, it is 250, right? Now see, since we have paid an expense relating to conveyance, so we will have to make a separate column for the conveyance as well. So let me prepare a column for the conveyance. $250 will be recorded here as well. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on. Actually, one more thing. I think bus fare was not 250, it was 50 rupees only, na? Alright, I think I have made a mistake. Sorry. Instead of 250, please correct this. This is not 250, this is actually 50 rupees only. So instead of writing 250, we will write down 50 only. All right, I hope this is clear now. Moving on to the next point, paid cartage. Cartage is a separate expense. On 2nd January again, on 2nd January, by cartage account 250. But since it is a different kind of expense, we will have to make a separate column for this as well, for cartage. And amount will also be indicated in this column, 250. Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, coming back to the next transaction on January 3rd, paid for postage and telegrams. Paid for postage and telegrams. Paid for postage and telegrams on 3rd of January. Sorry. Postage and telegrams. How much we have paid for it? We paid 500 for postage and telegram on 3rd of January. 500. But because it is a different kind of expense again, we will have to open a different separate column for that as well. So I'll write down postage and telegram. Postage and telegram amount will be 500. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Next transaction on 3rd of January again, paid wages for casual laborers. Paid wages for casual laborers. So wages is a different expense again. On 3rd January, by wages, how much we have paid for it? We paid 600 for casual laborers, 600, and I'll open a different column for that as well, wages. All right, is it clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming back to the next transaction on January 4, paid for stationery. Paid for stationery. On January 4, we paid for stationery 400. And we will have to open a different column for that as well. $400. Coming back, paid auto charges on January 4. Sorry. On January 4, we paid auto charges of rupees 400. Right. So when we have paid auto charges, I think I can consider this as a conveyance expense. Auto charges was, sorry, auto charges was 200 only. Yeah. So shall we consider this as a conveyance charge? Yes or no? Auto charges is a conveyance charge. Yes or no? Yes. Auto charges is a conveyance charge. You know the meaning of the conveyance, everyone. Now, conveyance is basically expenses relating to traveling. So it is a conveyance charge. So on January 4, we have by conveyance. But see, we have already made a column for recording the conveyance charge. Now we already have a column for recording the conveyance charge. So we won't have to open a different column for this particular expense conveyance account. So we already have this column to record the conveyance related expenses. So I can simply write down 200 in this particular column. I don't have to open a separate column again. You understood, everyone? Is this point clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Good. Coming back to the question, then paid for repairs of chairs. Paid for repairs of chairs. So repairs of chairs can be considered as a sundry expense. Just a minute. I think I'll have to I'll have to stretch these lines. All right. So next transaction on 5th of January. 5th January paid for repair chairs. So I'm considering repairs as a sundry expense, or okay, let's just consider it as a repair. I'm just considering it as a separate expense. 5th of January by repairs. What amount we have spent on account of repairs? We have spent 1500 on account of repairs, right? So 1500 will be recorded here, and we will have to open a separate column for that by the name of repairs. $1,500 here in this column. Understood? Is it clear, everybody? Is it clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving on to the next transaction. Again on 5th of January, paid bus fare. But fare is, again, it is a conveyance charge. So on 5th of January by conveyance, 100 rupees, and this 100 can be written in the conveyance column, 100. We already have a column for conveyance. Right, everyone? You guys are doing it now, along with me? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please note this down. Moving to the next transaction on 6th of January, paid for postage and telegram. We already have a column for postage and telegram. We won't be required to prepare a different column for that. On January 6th, paid for postage and telegram, 700. Postage and telegrams amount was 700. What was the amount? Sorry, I'm not able to keep a track of it. Paid for chairs repair, 1500. Then paid for bus fare, it was 100. Okay, I think I have missed one transaction. Paid cartage, 400. I'm sorry, guys. By cartage, and the amount was 400. 400 will be written here, and I think I have made a separate column for the cartage as well. See, here we go. So I can record that amount in the column of cartage. Right? Everybody understood this point? Okay. Then on 6th of January, by postage and telegram, 700. $700 postage and telegram. And since I have already made a column for recording the expense relating to postage and telegram, so I can simply write the amount here. Postage and telegram, 700. Then again on 6th of January, paid for conveyance charge, 300. By conveyance charge, 600. And conveyance charge, the first column is for the conveyance charge, 600. Then again on 6th of January, paid for cartage, 300. Previous transaction was for 300 or 600. It was a 300, no? Let's put on 300. This should also be 300. I'm sorry, 300 it should be. All right. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Yes or no? Everybody? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then again on 6th of January, by this time we had incurred expense for cartage, 300 again by cartage. We will be writing this in the column of the cartage. Let me check cartage. Yeah, second column. 300. Then one more transaction I've incurred on January 6, paid for stationery 200. But we already have a column for stationery expense. I can directly record that in the column of the stationery. Here we go, 200. Right, everybody understood this point? Yes or no? Say yes or no.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then one last transaction, January 6, paid for refreshment to customer. Paid for refreshment to customer. In which category I should keep it? Paid refreshment for customers. Just a minute. Let me check whether I have any other account where I can put it. I think I'll have to make a separate column for that by refreshment to customer. Let me write it as by miscellaneous expense. Miscellaneous expense amounts to 500. All right, everybody. Is it clear? But since we don't have a column for miscellaneous expense, so we'll have to make one. Amount was 500, so I'll have to write this down here. 500. All right, understood, everybody? Is it clear? Yes or no? Since we have recorded all the transaction here, now what we will do, we'll just total these columns. So let me do that. Let's just total the first column. Here in the receipt column, we only have we have received on 1st January 10,000. So the sum total of receipt side is 10,000 only. All right, now just total these values. Totaling the payment column values will be 50, 250, 500, 600, 400, plus 200, plus 1500, 100, 700, and 300. We have to add all these. I found this on. All right, so add 50 plus 250 plus 500 plus 600 plus 400 plus 200 plus 1500, 100, all these value. After adding all of these values, we will be getting, just a minute, let me tell you, we will get 6000. Sum total of it will be 6000. 6000. All right, but and we will now subtract 6000 out of 10,000. Then this means that we will have a closing balance. We will have a closing balance of how much? We will have a closing balance of 4000, right? So we'll write down by balance CD. By balance CD will be how much? It will be, tell me anyone, it will be 4000. All right, now when you will tell it, this should be 10,000 as well. Okay, and we will total these expenses as well. So total of the conveyance expense will be 50 plus 200, it will be 250, 350 and 300. This is 650. Sum total of this is 650. And this is how we will total all these columns. So totaling these column will be, we will get 200, 250 plus 400 plus 300. It will be 950. Then 800. Then just a minute. I'm sorry. 7 plus 5, it should be 1200. Then 600 and 400 plus 200, this will be 600 again. 500 only. And for the repairs as well, we will have 1500 only. All right, everybody, is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear, everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So since we have recorded all the transaction, we found the total of each and every column. One thing you will notice that when you will total these columns, 650, 950 plus 1200 plus 600 plus 600 plus 1500 and 500, they should be equal to 6000. All right. So make sure the sum total of this should be equal to 6000. 650 plus 950 plus 1200 plus 600 plus 600 plus 1500 plus 500. 6000. It should be 6000. Yeah. All right. Is that clear, everybody? Now, since the question is requiring us to prepare the petty cash book based on the impressed system, that means we will have to maintain a opening balance for each and every month equals to 10,000. So right now we have a closing balance of what amount? We have a closing balance of 4,000 only, but we will have to maintain a opening balance in the next week equivalent to 10,000, right? So what I'm going to do, I'll write down on, these are the transaction till 6th of January na. So we'll write down on 7th of January to balance BD, opening balance for the next week will be 4,000, and on the same date we will ask head cashier to pay us further 6,000 so as to maintain balance equivalent to 10,000. So to cash. All right, is that clear, everybody? Is it clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the complete solution of this question. I hope everybody understood this question. This is a lengthy question. This usually take in exam. This will usually take around 15 minutes. So you will have to practice enough number of question based on the uh, petty cash book. All right. So as to maintain, so as to prepare it within 10-15 minutes. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time. Okay, just wait. I'm giving you one question. Just a minute. All right. So I have this question for you. Kindly take this screenshot of this question, please. Everybody is able to see the question on screen. Tell me if all of you are able to see the question or not.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. See this question. Let me just read this question for you. This is also a question wherein we are required to prepare a petty cash book. All right, and this in this question, however, it is not written that we need to prepare the analytical petty cash book, but prepare it. We will prepare an analytical cash book in this case. All right, because I'm telling you to do so. All right. However, this question is not requiring us to prepare the analytical petty cash book, but I'm still telling you that you should prepare the analytical petty cash book in this question. Let me read this question for you. In this question, it says that the impress system amount of impress being 4,000. The book is kept on impress system, and the amount of impress being 4,000. So fixed 4,000 is the fixed amount that head cashier will be giving to the petty cash. Following transactions are relating to the month of April from the 1st of April till 30 till the 15th of April only. It says that petty cash in hand. So we have a opening petty cash in hand 540, received cash to make up the impressed, paid for office cleaning 100, paid railway fare 320, bus fare 280, wages 150, bought shorthand notebook for office 370, paid carriage or parcel, bought stamp, paid for repairs, give charity, paid for wages. All these transactions are need to be recorded in the analytical petty cash book. So I'm giving you this question for the homework. I'm sure all of you will be able to solve this question, right? Kindly take the screenshot if you are done. Let me know. Ritika, Zainab, Labiba, done with the screenshot? All right, guys. So since we only have around 4 5 minutes left in this session, so I'm not going to give you any other question. You won't be doing any other thing. So this is the last topic in this particular chapter. We are done with the cash book. We have completed everything in this chapter. We started with the single column cash book, then we understood the double column cash book, and then we did few questions based on the petty cash book also. And under the petty cash book also, we did questions based on the ordinary petty cash book and the analytical petty cash book. I think every uh, we have covered all the concept in in this chapter. All right. So in the next class, probably we will be starting a new chapter. All right. That will be, I think, a subsidiary book. I'll be starting most probably. Or tell me any other chapter you want me to start, Ratika, Labiba. All of you are comfortable with the subsidiary book if we start that chapter.